Importance of photography and images in selling real estate. Hi, my name is Roxanne Govari here in San Diego, California, along with my partner, Santiago Guerin.
Hello, everyone. Hope you guys are having a great day. Today, we got a pretty interesting topic that not a lot of people think about when they're selling their home. So, today we
Absolutely.
got some good tips and advice for everyone here. So,
How
looking
to
forward to it.
present your home, right?
Yep.
Okay, let's start with presentation right here. This is a perfect example of a presentation, right? So it is pretty cold, and I didn't have, I didn't plan on wearing a jacket, but since it is pretty cold and I have to wear a jacket, I need to make sure that my necklace looks right on top of my jacket, not just on top of my dress, but on top of my jacket. So that's part of the presentation, right? Just
Yeah.
like you would present a house.
Yeah.
So so we're talking about how to present a house and how to make sure that a property is shown in the best of light, right?
Yeah.
So you mentioned let's go on the MLS and look at some different samples, and we can certainly do that. But maybe we go on our website and we talk about um, uh, some of the techniques as well as what it takes to. So let's first go over what it takes to actually prepare a house for sale,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Um, and let's talk about the one that we have that is going to go on the market. First we met with the client, and in this particular case that we're talking about a fixer property that needs a lot of work. But even at that point, we would want to prepare it for the market. So first, it was an estate sale, so that we empty out the house, and then it's taking pictures, doing virtual staging. If if there's any repairs that we can do, then doing the repairs. If the property is a total fixer to the point that with a little bit of a paint and a little bit of a TLC, we can't really prepare it. Then we want to use virtual staging as much as we can, and then make sure that we are taking professional pictures,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, any ideas of what you're thinking? And okay, so
Well,
that was one end of the
yeah.
spectrum, and also it was on the fixer end. But let's also talk about the other end of actually putting up a high-end product that we also have in our inventory that's going to go on the market. And let's talk about that. So initial consultation with the client, and we talked about having to declutter the property, having to do some touch-ups and some updating, and then we also talked about property styling, which basically was to go through the property and find out exactly what how to thin out the furniture, how to remove personal items, how to basically pick the best furniture that would be good for each room, and then from there add some knickknacks that would make the property look better than what it was before. And then from there, then we talked about then scheduling for the pictures, making sure that we take professional pictures, and then after that, we also do video, and we do drone shots, and then we're ready to go on the market.
What about not a lot of people add this to their listings or to when they're selling their home, floor plans. What is the importance of? I mean, I don't know if you can consider it photography in a way, but it is something that you could add at the end of your listing or whatever of the sale. Why is it such an important thing to have a floor plan? In your experience.
You're absolutely right. Floor plan is very, very important. A lot of the times, um, the buyer that you find for the property is not local.
Yeah,
And sometimes you even have buyers are purchasing properties sight unseen, right? So in
yeah,
those instances where you have the property being purchased sight unseen, then you want to have a floor plan, because then it gives you a better light into what the property is,
yeah.
right? And I'm glad that you're mentioning that, because
And
I
I feel like it could even expand the amount of maybe potential clients you can have for the sale of your home, right? Because someone that's out of state or something like that might look at the pictures and be like, I can't look at it, so I'm not gonna submit an offer or even give it a shot. But if they see a floor plan, they might get a little vision of their head of how it looks like, and could even get you a an offer. So
So this is a prime example of a property that we had, where we actually had a floor plan added to this, right? So we had ample pictures of the property, right? And and we had this virtual brochure online, and the client, well, or potential client, could go and take a look at each one of the rooms and see how they looked. But like you say, it's not very clear from these pictures which room is which and where these rooms are located. So if you have the floor plan, then it's much, much easier to see, okay, how is the home located, and then able to see it better. And then from there, also to have a virtual walkthrough of the property, where you can then take a look, and you're able to walk through and be able to have this uh, 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 tour, and then go through and also see different areas of the house, as well as different floors. So in this case, you are going up the stairs. You have the stairs. You're right above the stairs, and then you want to go into the primary bedroom. And so in the primary bedroom, you have the space of the bedroom, and then you have closets on each side, and then you have the bathroom. You have a nice window with views. You have a tub. You have a shower, and then you have a toilet closet, and then you're able to come out and basically walk through back into out of the room, back into where you started from. So I would say, and then let's see, we'll go down the stairs and right in the beginning and into the living room. So in this case, then if you're basically a buyer, an out of area buyer, going through this walkthrough, you're able to totally see the place, and you don't need to be there in person. Of course, the neighborhood is something that you still need to experience, but with the house itself, you're able to get a pretty good idea of what you're experiencing once you go through this,
yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, very important.
Very important. Okay, and so I'm going to unshare this so that we can talk about some other aspects of of properties and homes.
Yeah.
And also, I am thinking that drone photography also is very important, right? So
Mhm.
let me see if we can talk about some of the drone photography
Yeah.
um, examples and why drone photography could be so important and um, um, okay, so let me see if we can come up with going into the MLS and talk about some of the properties that some of the other properties and also some drone um, photography that would highlight um, what
And
we're
even
talking.
videos, even drone videos are like not just the photography itself. Having videos is also, good to have. So videos of the property inside, videos of
Mhm.
drone shots, so you can kind of see the neighborhood from like a bird's eye view. All that type of stuff is very, it goes a long way, I feel.
I tend to agree with you. Videos and drones also make a big difference because when you're having video, you can incorporate a lot of those drone shots into your video, and that makes a good amount of difference as well.
Exactly.
So. Um, and let me see. Uh, the other points are virtual tours, virtual tours as well as virtual pictures. Virtual pictures, right, are another point of differentiation. So, for example, you have you have um, an empty room, and if you can add some virtual furniture there, then it makes a huge difference in how you show the space. And here's another example where and sometimes when you place the furniture within the room, then all of a sudden you have a way to visually imagine being in that room and how it would look with furniture, and it just brings it to life,
It
brings
just
the
makes it, yeah, it makes it more attractive to potential buyers because they can see themselves either having their furniture on that spot and they just don't see a blank space. I mean, I feel like having both pictures in there is important just so that they can see it empty and then with the furniture.
Mhm.
Um, but it just makes it pop a whole lot more like that first picture. The carpet, there's like holes in the, spots in the carpet. It can having that virtual staging just makes it pop out a lot
and
more.
hide some of those, right?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Which
Yeah,
you as a seller would really like that. So
yeah. So, and what are some of the things that, as a younger crowd, that younger um, demographic, you would say it's important to you if
I
you
feel
were.
like people my age are more in Instagram. So making sure that you have videos and pictures that you can kind of scroll through Instagram are probably a really good thing to have. Like not just the MLS, but people just through the through their phones, making sure that they're good. So
Okay,
and
so then
it basically gets out there a lot more because us younger people spend a lot of time on Instagram, scrolling and having your property in these formats for Instagram, the
mhm.
videos. is gonna give that much more traction of the home.
Right. And something that we're actually doing on Instagram to basically highlight our new listings is having several different videos of the same property that we're listing on a on few days at a time to basically highlight the property. Let's see if this is the one that, yep, this is a video of one of our newer listings. So this is actually a good example of having those drone shots and you know highlight the area as well as and another point that this video actually shows is also to is showing during during the day as well as at
Yeah,
night how um, you
how it looks. Yeah,
how it looks, right?
those sunset shots are great. I mean, I really like them because I mean, if you let's say you're thinking about purchasing this home, you see that, it might encourage you even more to want to buy it just because it has, such a great sunset view. So
Right.
also, if
Exactly.
you're able to get shots like those, that's another plus towards your to the sale of your home. So
There you have some examples of the drone shots
yeah,
because you can't really highlight all of these attractions without drone shots.
yeah,
So that really makes a difference to highlight the property and everything that it has to offer,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah. So so those are some of the other points that you write we can highlight in a property, and then I think it's also important to basically have different sorts of representations of the home. For example, so this one was a more of a more of a seriously showing the property. But then, in addition to that, you want to have something a little bit more fun. And let me see, which one is it that is more of a fun video of the house? Because a lot of people are so this is a video walkthrough of the house, right? And showing different angles and featuring every good point about the house, and bringing different specifics about the house that stand out. So
yeah,
this is one example of how beautiful the bathrooms are, how upgraded the bathrooms are. And let me see. I want to show some of the ones that are more fun. Um, I think this one is one other one that's more of a fun one that we did, and you never know which one is going to appeal
to the
to your
crowd.
to your crowd, but definitely that entertaining factor also has some attraction and
Yeah,
draw that really helps to bring the light and kind of get more views,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Mm-hmm. Definitely, definitely.
But
And
at
it's
the
always
day, I think it's also important to say, because when we're doing all of this, it's important to let the buyers and sellers know that at the end of the day, it's the buyer's agent that sell a house,
yeah,
because they're the ones that are working with the action ready buyers. So what we're doing here is to attract those buyers and feature the house in front of them. But from there on, the heavy lifting is done by the agents to bring their clients and bring the property and show the property and ultimately write offers.
Yeah. And what about, like, let's say, for pictures we have them virtually staged. What about a home that is, somewhat staged? Should you have it staged more before taking pictures, or how would you go about that?
You definitely want to take up a lot of time and making sure that you prepare the house for sale. For example, with this property, we took the time and we walked through the property and we made sure that everything showed perfectly. That every area was showing beautifully. That all of the personal items were removed, and we also worked on making sure that we decluttered the property. So everything that you see was very well thought of, so that we would show the house in the best of light. Like for example, in this property, this is actually not the one that I'm thinking. Let me see if I find the one that I'm thinking that I want to show you. Um, this one, this one was one that this one is actually an example of one that was an empty property that then we went and we minimally staged. And by minimally staged, we basically brought furniture in that was when we say minimally staging means that one person can carry um, uh, the furniture, and so as you can see here, we have very few amount of furniture, but it's just enough for the person that walks in to get an idea of, okay, what it would look if it has furniture in it.
Yeah.
And the furniture can be brought in and carried by one person. So, you're not using a whole lot of furniture, but enough to kind of give an idea. Let me see. I want to show you this one that we sold. So this is an example of a property that we did that we fully staged, right? And now we had two units here. So this is not the unit that I'm thinking of. This is the unit that I'm thinking of. Um, so so with this property, we actually what we did was there was furniture inside this unit, but then we removed the furniture that was in, and then we brought in professional stager to fully stage the property. And as you can see, we did the drone shots, we did the video, and we also added professional staging items so that the property would look the best. And we also highlighted the neighborhood because it's not just the unit itself that was very lovely, but it was also the neighborhood that was very, very attractive. And we made sure that all of that is highlighted in the video that we have.
Yeah.
And of course, the full version of the video is on YouTube, whereas the short version of the video is on Instagram, so that we get a flavor for both parties, and they both have something to look at and get an idea about the unit before they put an offer on.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we want to wrap it up at this point, unless you think that there's anything else that we can add for our viewers.
I think we covered a good amount. I mean, I think, the importance of, the virtual staging, having the place, nice and clean, professional photos, drone shots, very important with videos, on all social medias. Those are all very important things, and it really, can can make it so that your home is so much more attractive and bring you, the highest price to your pocket. So very
All right.
important.
So then from here on, let's get in touch with our audience. If you are thinking of contacting me, there's my phone number. If you have questions for Santi, there's his phone number. And if you want to follow us on Instagram, there's our Instagram handle. And if you want to visit our website, there's our website. And beyond that, we are realtors here in San Diego, California, but we can help you anywhere in the U.S. So give us a shout out, and if you're watching us on YouTube, give us a like and a thumbs up, and make sure that you subscribe to our channel so that as we are posting new videos, you're able to view them. And thank you so much for
Yeah.
joining.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon.